Hi, my name is Molly. Our CEO, Henrik Schultz, has asked me to introduce the Virtual Routes Integrated Value Chain Solutions and discuss the minimum requirements for participating in our program. In this short video, I will be discussing the following. Who are the role players in the value chain? The importance of managing identities throughout the value chain. Identifying the relevant item handling events within the value chain that supports your business objectives. And briefly looking inside one organization and their operational workflow based on organizational commitments and obligations. We will also unpack the leather and wool value chain to some extent. And in the process, we will visit the Golden Haze sheep farm in the Western Cape in South Africa, where some of their operational processes will be analyzed. So let's begin. The first step is to identify all the participating role players in the value chain ecosystem. This may include the sheep farmers, who are the primary producers for the value chain, the abattoir, all the Tier 2 processors, such as the pickling plant and tannery, the manufacturer of the final product, up to the retailers, where customer demand is fulfilled. Each one of the participants then needs to be registered with GS1 to obtain their global location number, as well as their globally unique item codes. Once this is concluded, the organization's profile can be created on the Virtual Routes platform, and their role in the value chain can be defined. Do note that all personal data provided are treated with the strictest confidentiality and not shared with any other role player within the value chain. The next step is to ensure there is a reliable identity trail throughout the value chain, and that every item can be uniquely identified and tracked as it moves from one organization to the next. At the farm level, every sheep should have a unique RFID tag attached to its ear. At the abattoir, each skin will receive its laser-marked identity, which is then linked to the specific sheep. For the wool value chain, each cape sheared from a specific sheep is pressed in a uniquely identifiable bale for trading purposes. Great care therefore needs to be taken at every stage in the value chain to ensure items are uniquely identifiable throughout the value chain. Without this identity trail, it is practically impossible to know the chain of custody throughout the value chain or to tell the story of the product journey from farm to fashion. Once the relevant item data from each participant in the value chain is uploaded to the Virtual Routes platform, the product journey can clearly be followed, provided that the identity trail is accurately recorded at every item handling event. The Virtual Routes team will be available to support each participant with digitizing their processes and automate item-level identification at these handling events. With all item identities secured, we then have to decide where in the value chain item status needs to be monitored. For example, in order to prove chain of custody, when Company A dispatch items to Company B, data of this event should be recorded. When Company B receives the items, data of this event is also required. The same would apply to Company B, who supplies Company C. The data captured at a dispatch event, as well as the data recorded at a receive event, can also be used to generate a transaction certificate as soon as certain criteria was fulfilled. Once the relevant data from these companies is uploaded to the Virtual Routes platform, the product audit trail is accurately available at every item handling event, and depending on what data is recorded, a detailed history of each and every item can be viewed at every event. It is therefore quite possible to identify multiple events within the organization at which data should be recorded. These points of interest are typically determined by the organizational commitments and obligations, especially if it is important for visibility throughout the value chain. In fact, when we open the black box of a specific organization and look into the workflow within the organization, there is no limitation on the Virtual Routes platform as to the number of events we could record. So in conclusion, if your customer requires full visibility of the product you supply, all the way up to and including what happens at primary production, the most important factor is being able to correctly identify the items as it evolves through the value chain. Please talk to your Virtual Routes representative to find out how to join this integrated value chain program. Thank you for watching.